Hey, welcome back to my messy garage. I decided I'd do another battery swap. This time I'm going to try doing it on a Crazy Cart XL. A buddy of mine has one and he's like, hey, what if we put a lithium battery in that? I'm sure other people have done it because I've looked on eBay and it looks like somebody is selling a battery and a kit with some 3D printed arms, little stands to put the battery on, because the lithium battery is going to be a little bit smaller than the existing batteries that go in the 36 volt Crazy Cart XL. So you know what, why not? Let's try it out. So other people have done it. I looked for some videos. I didn't really see anything, so we'll try it. And if it works out, then awesome. If it doesn't, well, then it was a good try. So here we have my buddy's Crazy Cart XL. And to access the batteries, it's pretty easy. You just have to lift up on the seat, and then there's the batteries. So I'm just going to do a straight battery swap on it. I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I had thought about maybe putting a voltage meter on this and maybe a blinky light, which would be kind of nice because, you know, when you're driving these things around, you get really flipping around and it gets kind of crazy and easy for people not to see you. Yeah, I'm just going to take it out, just cut the harness off, attach it to the new battery, and hopefully that's all it takes. So I was going to unbox the battery here. Once again, it's just a battery I bought off of eBay. It's a 36 volt, it's a 20 amp. It comes with a charger, its own charger, because we won't be able to use the existing charger anymore. It comes with a adapter piece to plug into the battery. And what we're going to do is we're going to clip the wires here and solder on the harness from the Crazy Cart onto this, and then we'll be able to attach this end to the battery. And then here's the battery. And you can see that it's got a charging port on it for the new charger, and then we will plug that other end in here. Like I said, it's going to be smaller. You can see the size here. It's going to be smaller than the existing batteries, so we'll have to jimmy up something to get it to hold in place so it doesn't flop around when you're spinning circles. Taking out the old battery is pretty easy. They just have a couple of these screws on each side. You can just take off with these are much easier to take apart than the regular size Crazy Carts. Those things are kind of a booger. You have to really unscrew them, and like with a screwdriver or a drill or something. These just come off pretty easy. And so take it off. These has that nice battery straps to pick up the batteries and stuff when you're done. It's pretty easy peasy. There we go. Set this off to the side, and then all we have to do is I'm gonna unclip this. I mean, it looks like I'm gonna have to put some kind of, maybe I'll have to put an inline fuse on this too, because it doesn't have a fuse anymore. So maybe that's something else I'll do too. I'll clip off these wires here, there and there. I'll put an inline fuse on that hot side there, so we can protect the battery and the charger and stuff like that. So now you can see how much smaller this new battery is, because that is the battery tray for the old batteries. And so when you put this in, it's not only less wide but less long too. And so there's quite a bit of gap. So I'm not really sure how we'll do it. I don't know if I'll just trim up some wood. And it's also, look at this, you can put my whole hand underneath when that strap is on. So I might cut some wood to fit it. Maybe underneath, put a nice, that's probably what I'll do, is I'll just cut some wood to sit underneath and then build a lip on it to keep it in place. So measuring this thing out, it looks like this inside of this battery box is just shy of a foot inside. So you can see there, it's just shy. It's like, so like, I measure the outside, a little tough doing it one-handed. Let's see. And you see it. And then the width-wise, it looks like it is just a hair over 6 inches. And so, yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing this thing super exact, obviously. So I'm going to cut a 1-inch plank, fit it in there, and we'll see where we are from there. Here's the first piece of my platform for it. You can see that I cut it out so beautifully on my 1,000-year-old bandsaw that I've got, but I'm not really care, and nobody's gonna see this, right, except for people watching this on YouTube. So plan is I'll put the battery on, I'll put another 2x4 or something on each side, keep it in place, and put the strap back over the top of it. I think it'll be about right. We'll see. Maybe it won't be. We'll figure it out. So here is my finished tray. You can see I just repurposed a bunch of little pieces of wood to get things to set. So I put this piece of wood up here to keep the battery from flopping over into the controller. I got some other pieces of wood and just cut them to size to make sure that they fit. I didn't want to get this too tight so we couldn't get the battery out ever again, but if we need to. So let's see here. And there's a little bit of gap in the back, but you can see I cut out the bottom of the tray, hopefully to, keep some heat off of the battery a little bit. So let it air out a little bit, I guess. Try to. So there's that. It's not pretty. I don't make pretty cuts. I'm okay with that. It's just got to be useful. So now that the tray is done, let's get to work on this battery. So I plan on clipping this battery. I'm going to clip it here and I clip it here. I'm also going to clip off one of these inline fuses to put in line with this. It's a 30 amp fuse, and we'll put that in line with that, and then we will hook this up to the new harness. Okay, so I got the wire stripped. I'm going to add this here on the plug. It's going to come down a little bit. I'm also going to add a little bit of more length onto the black so they kind of equal up. I'm trying to keep as much of the natural stuff as possible. So if my buddy wants to take this back to lead acid batteries, he can. So he can take the old harnesses off and do it. But we'll see. But I love using these little shrink solder deals. They are so great. I use them with my heat gun. Gets them nice and tight and a little bit of solder in there. Here's the new and improved wiring harness with the inline fuse, heat shrinked and soldered ends. A little long, but we'll see how it goes. Well, now that I've got it installed, I realize that that's probably a little too long now. So I'm probably gonna have to tape them in, tape them over, or zip tie them, throw them in here or something, because they're pretty tight. But it's all hooked up and it's working. There is that. So let me flip on the switch here. See, flip it on, and we will. Yeah, that thing's raring to go. All right. Well, here's the finished product. There's still a little bit of gap at the top, even with everything. So I decided I'd just cut up a little bit of this styrofoam that came with the battery. And so I cut it up just to hold it in place, give it a little bit more support. make sure it's nice and tight so it's not flopping around. And then I just tied it back in. You can see my ugly box. I don't care. I'm all right. I've got broad shoulders. You can make fun of it. I'm not going to really do anything with the plug. I mean, these seats come up pretty easy on these crazy carts. So when he wants to charge it, he can just pop up the seat and charge it. I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to do anything crazy with that. I mean, he should be able to even reach it if he wants to, because there's enough of gap at the bottom. So anyway, looks like I think I'm done.